Enough.
That clock continues to get slower and slower. Good evening. It used to just be 1 minute behind, now it's 3 minutes behind. Yeah. Good evening and welcome to the June 10th, 2026 regular City Council meeting. Thank you for taking time during a Wednesday evening to come here and be at City Council. We are going to start with Pledge of Allegiance, and you'll notice there's a lot of cowboy hats, cowgirl hats here, and we have a lot of sweethearts here. So Lisa Herculean, the current sweetheart, is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job, Lisa.
Councilmember Burton,
I am here.
Gonzalez,
Present.
Stransky.
Yes.
Alanese.
Here.
Almond.
Here.
The City Council welcomes input from the audience. If there is a matter of business on the agenda that you're interested in, you may address the council when the matter is considered. If you wish to speak on a matter that is not on the agenda, you may do so at this time. In order for everyone to be heard, please limit your comments to 3 minutes per person. The Brown Act regulations do not allow action to be taken on audience comments in which the subject is not listed on the agenda.
I guess Gary wants to be first, but before we get to Gary, if there's an agendized item that you do not have time to wait until we get to it, after the non-agendized item, public comment, you're welcome to do the agendized item. So, yes?
Tom, would you introduce the new member on the panel up here?
Oh, okay. As city employees know, and some of the people who are involved with the city, we have a new interim city manager. And James Connor comes from Sonoma County, and he's been with the city before, and he has jumped in with both feet, and he understands the situation the city is in, and he's striving to keep the ship heading in the correct direction, and we appreciate you accepting the interim position while we continue to look for a full-time city manager, and we hope that everybody's treating you well. It's on.
It is now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody's been treating me very well. The community's been really welcoming me back, and the city employees have also been just exceptional and welcoming.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, Gary, you're sorry.
Yes, good evening, City Council. Let me see if I can find my notes again. Here we go. I would like to request placement on the upcoming Willits City Council agenda. My presentation will provide a brief overview of the current state of the arts in Willits, including recent accomplishments, ongoing programs, and the cultural and economic contributions of the arts to the city. In addition, I would like to introduce a proposal for a new public sculpture to be installed in Willits and discuss the potential benefits to the community. I anticipate the presentation would take approximately 10 to 15 minutes, including questions. So thank you for your consideration. Let me know if you have any additional questions.
Okay, so Dolores, if you could keep track of that, and possibly we do not meet the second week of July, but we do meet the fourth week of July. It's a 1 month a year, we get a break, and so possibly if there's not too many agendized items, Gary, that would be in about 5 weeks from now. Does that work for you?
Yeah, it works.
Okay. Who else would like to speak? By all means.
Yeah, envelopes.
Oh,
These are your guys' tickets for this year's event.
I bought tickets from,
Well, now you get to be nice and hand them out.
I did too.
Thank you. Okay, there's nothing, you don't want to speak? Okay. Is there anybody else who would like to speak on any non-agendized item? Nikki?
Hello, my name is Nikki Caldwell. Sadly, I have to address you guys again about my neighbors. In the early morning hours of January 3rd, we were woken up at 3:15 by our lovely neighbors' kids and their friends banging on the door, waking everybody up in the house. So I decided to stay up to see what's happened. After that, I was wide awake, couldn't go back to sleep. Everybody went to sleep, so I stayed outside for a little bit, quickly realizing that it truly was my neighbors' kids again and their friends, which I have all names and everything else. They vandalized Speckled Grove Middle School. I have a bunch of pictures, a bunch of videos of them vandalizing on the way up. Like I said, they going through the whole neighborhood. My poor neighbor around the corner on Walnut Street, he was woken up. They keep throwing rocks at his door, kicked his door in, destroying his hedges. He called PD that night. I called PD that night. It is getting completely out of control. Within 2 days, there were verbal altercation between our family members and their family members. Was the 13, 14-year-old have no language? If that would be my kid, I'm not saying it, but holy cow, something needs to happen. It cannot continue like that. When the neighbor, Glenn Hansard from Walnut Street, when he called PD and asked why nothing was done, he was told they couldn't do a lot because they have to jump through a lot of hoops because they are minors. This can't happen. Like, this is the same neighbor where our ex-assistant city manager told me if she would have been in my shoes, she already would have sued the city about nothing happening with the neighbors. This year is my last try to do it on a nice way, maybe get the attention from the police chief again. And if not, I mean, there's others, and the neighbors are getting ready to go together.
And Nikki, I would encourage you to schedule an appointment and sit down with the police chief.
Yeah, we actually sadly sat down with the last 4 police chiefs, and nothing happens. It's been going on since 10 plus years.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Who else would like to speak on a non-agendized item? Going once, going twice. Is there anybody who would like to speak of an agendized item that you have to get out of here? Okay, well, we are going to jump right into the next item, which is a proclamation. This is a very big year for our country being 250 years old, and for Frontier Days being 100 years old, the longest continuous running rodeo in the state of California. So we have a proclamation, and yes, you're here, we're going to read the whole thing. I'm sorry. Okay? A proclamation of the Willits City Council celebrating the 100th anniversary of Willits Frontier Days, the year of the sweetheart, and designating Willits Western Wear Days, June 22nd through July 4th, 2026. Whereas for 100 years, Willits Frontier Days has stood as a cherished tradition in the city of Willits, bringing together residents, visitors, families, and generations of community members in celebration of our Western heritage, pioneering spirit, and enduring sense of community. And whereas since its founding in 1926, Willits Frontier Days have grown into California's longest continuous running and most beloved rodeo and community celebrations, honoring the history, culture, and values that have shaped the city of Willits and the surrounding region. And whereas the year 2026 marks the historic 100th anniversary of Willits Frontier Days, representing a century of volunteerism, dedication, tradition, and community pride that has enriched the lives of countless individuals and families. And whereas the centennial celebration embraces a theme, the year of the sweetheart, recognizing the spirit of friendship, kindness, community, connection, and the cherished relationship that unite generations of Willits residents and visitors alike. And whereas the sweetheart tradition serves as a reminder that the true strength of Willits Frontier Days lies not only in its rodeo arena and festivities, but in the people whose generosity, service, and commitment have sustained this treasured event for 100 years. And whereas the organizers, volunteers, sponsors, contestants, royalty, community partners, and supporters of Willits Frontier Days have worked tirelessly to preserve and strengthen the historic celebration, ensuring that future generations may continue to experience its unique legacy. And whereas the centennial of the Willits Frontier Days provides an opportunity to honor the past, celebrate the present, and inspire the future while recognizing the countless individuals whose contributions have made this milestone possible. Now therefore be it proclaimed that we proudly recognize and celebrate the 100th anniversary of Willits Frontier Days and hereby designate 2026 as the Year of the Sweetheart in honor of this remarkable milestone and this enduring spirit of community, heritage, and hospitality that defines the city of Willits. Be it further proclaimed that all residents and visitors are encouraged to join, and city employees are encouraged to join in commemorating this centennial celebration, honoring the tradition of the past while embracing the future, the promise of the future, and extending the spirit of the sweetheart throughout the community. In witness whereof, this proclamation is issued this 10th day of June, 2026, in recognition of the 100th anniversary of Willits Frontier Days, and with gratitude for a century of memories, traditions, and community pride. Now therefore, I, Tom Allman, Mayor of the City of Willits, along with Vice Mayor Matthew Albanese, Council members Bruce Burton, Geraldo Gonzalez, and Larry Stransky, do hereby proclaim June 22nd through July 4th, 2026 as Western Wear Days in the city of Willits. Encourage all who enter our community to join us in this rodeo spirit by wearing Western apparel. In witness thereof, I have hereto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Willits to be affixed this 10th day of June, 2026. Congratulations, sweethearts. If we could have all the sweethearts line up here and face the camera. And if the council could be clearly
Focused, engaged, locked in.
oldest and youngest. Don't do that, I'd get in trouble. You're the youngest, you're the youngest. Okay. All right, real briefly, say your name and what year you were the sweetheart.
Lisa R. Kelly, 2025, 2026. Hazel Cruz, 2023, 2024. Danielle Berry, 2022. Jake Dope, 2019 and 2020.
Haley Riley, 2017.
Lindsay Bolts, 2009.
Kinsey Vogel, 2008.
Nicole Krunka, 1980.
Well, congratulations and thank you for keeping the tradition alive by your volunteerism, your ticket sales, and your energy. So I'm going to present this. Huh? So Jeff, good, all right, all right. And Jeff's going to give us 60 seconds of entertainment in a minute. All right, Jeff.
Oh, thank you, Tom.
Thank you very much. You're an important part of our meeting. You're pretty there.
All right.
All right, so Jeff did, Jeff's going to give us 1 minute of song here.
Well, I have something I need to tell you.
Oh,
Seeing it's the 100th anniversary, and it's my obligation here to...
as you're the president of Frontier Days right now?
No, I'm not, but I am strongly committed to the president.
Okay.
But this is my 25th year
Okay.
on the board, and so being the 100th year, it's a really special time for us, and it's always a great time, but this is extra special. That's been 100 years of this tay-de-tay, the hooping and hollering, and everybody having a good old time. And so we're happy to be here tonight to wish you a big old Western howdy and invite you to come out to all the events. There's something for everybody, you know, and all the money we make, we give it back to the community. We've been doing it for 100 years. We've been involved in been given to just about every service organization around. So we'd like to do that. But as I'm responsible, it is my responsibility, I should say, to speak to Western Wear. I want to tell you first of all, Western wear is more than just pretty and stylish. Western wear, as every cowboy will tell you, the first thing is safety, and that's why we wear it. Now, when you are all decked out in your Western wear and you go out in the field, you don't have to worry about snakes. Because when they see them boots, they're going to go the other way, I'm telling you. And you won't get poison oak either, I can guarantee you that. And bees. A lot of people worry about bees. Now, when you have your snap shirt on and a bee goes down your collar, you can whip that shirt off faster than you can say Seabiscuit.
Never thought of that.
Yes, it's true. And like I mentioned before, the snap are very handy. Like if you stand a little too close to the campfire, you can get that shirt right off before they start pouring beer on you. So it's really important. But also, you all know how good you look when you have your Western wear on. And when you look good, you feel good. Hey, you know that. So put some on and come on out and put on your hat and come join us for Willits Frontier Days. We're going to have a parade as usual, and I'll be handing out my 40,000th flag during the parade, and then we're going to have the famous barbecue, and I'll be hosting the rhodiola, and I'll sing some of your country favorites, and we're going to try to get Tom up with his tuba to give us a hand. So, all right, well.
Western about a tuba.
No, we're good. Yeah, it's all right. So anyway, put on your hat and come on down. So we're going to play one little song about it, short and sweet. You asked for it.
I thought they were going to sing harmony.
There's a spot for banjo in here too.
Very true.
Only left-handed.
I'm going to bump the rigging. There we go. All right. Well, thank you, Matt. Good to have a side man. Oh, no, it's hard, huh? Okay. All right, we're ready to go. Well, I was just wondering the other day why people come here and why they stay. So I started asking around, and here to tell you what I found about Willits. Oh, Willits. Talking Willits. Well, I asked my old friend Stella James, I said, how'd you get here? Why'd you stay? She said, we come riding over the pass, and we found our little home at last in Willits. Where what in Willits? Where what in Willits? Well, I was having this fella just today. I said, how'd you get here and why'd you stay? He says, we were driving around until we heard the sound and the car broke down. Somebody told us the end of town and they started looking all around. I said, where am I? Here in Willits. Where? In Willits. Where what? In Willits. He says, the people here sure are nice. I think I'll stay and bring my wife. He calls her up, says, bring the kids. This is what she said to them. Where? Willits. Oh, I'm in Willits. Where, what? In Willits. That's how you get here. Well, I talked to this other fella just today. I said, how'd you get here and why'd you stay? He says, I was born here. Where, what? In Willits. And everybody, where, what? Where, what?
you should be on stage, and the next one leaves in 10 minutes. And to the sweethearts, we appreciate you being here, but we also know that you have a life. And you do not have to watch a city council meeting if you don't want to be here. If you want to be here, we welcome you to be here, but you don't have to be. We appreciate you being here. All right, moving on. Yes.
I don't, Tom, I was just going to say, having, been in a number of service clubs in Willits over the years and seen how difficult it is to maintain a real working group.
Consistent, sure.
This, Frontier Days, far as I know, doesn't have one paid employee, and they put this thing on a tremendous effort into it, and they've done it over multiple generations. You don't get to 100 unless you got 80, I guess, but it's extraordinary. Fire department is the only other one I can think of that kind of goes back that far and I think that the volunteerism that demonstrates is extraordinary.
Well, with the volunteerism, let me just give a shout out. Over the last 2 weeks, the front of the Frontier Days grounds have been transformed. Fresh paint, fresh flowers, everything. And if you know and see Amanda Sizemore, you tell Amanda Sizemore that she's the #1 volunteer. She's just making things work. Yes. All right, so the sweethearts have decided to stay, I guess, for now. You can leave. You have a family. I know. I saw them yesterday.
Ryan, Kendi, Ryan.
All right. And consent calendar, the city council considers matters listed under the consent calendar as routine. The council will take action with a single vote and roll call vote. A council member may request the removal of an item from the consent calendar for separate discussion and subsequent action. We only have one item, and it's city council minutes from May 27th, and we'll check to see if there's any corrections. Oh, okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the consent calendar.
I'll second.
Okay, public comment on the minutes from May 27th. Is there any public comment? Oh, we have a spill. All right, so no public comment. We have a motion, a second to the clerk.
Councilmember Burton?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Yes.
Stransky?
Yes.
Alanis?
Yes.
Mayor Ullman?
Aye. Our monthly activity report, accounts payable activity report, we don't have it in front of us. I know it was in the packet. Our new financial dude, Joseph, is here. Is there anything you and me would like to ask for the financial report?
Well, I have some questions on the warrants whenever
Okay.
you have time. Yep.
Yeah, sure. I'm just curious, I've got just a couple for my own, edification. On the charge to the general fund is a vendor named Data Ticket Inc. For $215. I was just not familiar with that. I'm just wondering what it is.
That's our ticket writing. It's
It's a parking ticket processing company.
Oh, okay, thank you. Then, under the Mendo Mill bill, which some are charged to the general fund, some are charged to water enterprise, some are charged transportation tax. Who makes that determination on, because it's done line item by, it looks to me like, $29 charged to water enterprise, the other one goes to general fund.
I think I can answer that question if you're not sure. It depends on what department is doing the purchasing. If the water department purchases, it's usually charged to water department. Same for sewer, public works, and then in-house here, if I have to go down and buy something for, say, City Hall, that's why it would be charged to the general fund.
So is it identified on the invoice?
Yes.
So each invoice comes in it. So it was identified at the point of purchase by whoever bought it.
Yes, and then the department head that would then be the one to initial and fund the invoice. saying where it needs to be drawn from.
Okay, but it's done by whoever picked the part up at the
Yes.
store. Another charge to the general fund was an onboarding charge of not much money, but to a Jennifer Vaught. I'm curious who we onboarded because I didn't think we were hiring anybody. And what,
That may have been for our intern. We had a volunteer.
okay, it's only $60. Then I guess looking at the Bank of America credit card statements, I'm curious at what is the threshold at the city that we use to capitalize purchases versus expensing them? I mean, IRS for business specifies that at $500. So I'm curious what the threshold the city uses in capitalizing its purchases. It's important in terms of the wastewater, especially the wastewater treatment plant to me.
So it's a good question, Joseph, and if you could just get back to Councilman Burton. So, unless you know the answer.
Up towards you.
I don't know the threshold off the top of my head, but I can get back to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that has to be known when you make these purchases in a way, or anyway, so that was my question. I appreciate looking into it. In the wastewater, charge to the wastewater enterprise fund was $4,387 to the United States Geologic Survey. Kind of puzzled me why we would be paying. Yeah.
The USGS maintains a creek flow station. The city of Willits pays,
Sure.
The city of Willits pays USGS. They maintain a creek flow weather station at the creek, outlet creek right there, where we actually get the flow readings for the wastewater plant.
Right.
So it's a contract with USGS to keep the station running, and we get to utilize it for our flow for our discharge, for winter discharge. So that's what that contract is.
So we have to, they have that.
It's their station, but we pay for access to it. So, from what I understand.
Okay. I'll check into that if I want. Thank you.
That's what that is, though.
Okay, thanks. I think I've asked this before, the Apex Technology Management for 10 grand a month, that is the
Apex is our IT service.
IT maintaining. Under communications, AT&T, we have a couple bills against the successor agency, and I assume that's the landfill successor deal. I guess is it monitoring stations up there that are ATT controlled, or what's going on?
I believe there are monitoring stations up there that have an ATT phone line that, that's how they send alarms or notifications if something is going wrong.
Okay. I'd like to know more about that.
Okay.
Then under, the next is a charge for utilities paid to the county of Mendocino for $5,582.
That's the shared cost of the utilities over at the Justice Center. The PG&E, the garbage, water, they charge us like a third of a percentage.
Okay, they pay the bill and we're paying our share.
them.
I'm surprised I haven't seen that before. I haven't seen it, that it wasn't there. JM integration contract. Again, not a lot of money, $1,200,000, but is anybody?
If I think on the PD bill that, over there, I think it's quarterly, if I'm not mistaken.
This is charged to the water enterprise. Maybe I'll just talk to Scott about that. This one kind of interested me. It's to Nick Barbieri Trucking, and it's for gasoline and diesel, but it's 5 different invoices on one day, all charged to the general fund. I mean, I know we have the city maintenance yard down there, and I assume we have gas and diesel storage down there, but I'm not understanding why there's 5 different billings to the general fund.
I believe those are different invoices.
I know, but they're all the same day. They are different invoices, but they're all on the same day. And
I'll find out the why behind that.
Okay, thank you.
So like you're just holding on invoices and just sending like 5 invoices from 1 month and we're supposed to pay it whenever you feel like billing us?
I mean, I know it says it's to the general fund, but there are sub-funds included in that, so it may be divided up amongst different departments at that point, but I will, Joseph will get more information for you.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen them being charged to water or wastewater or airport or other funds, so. And maybe you can tell, again, what WIF had a charge to the wastewater fund for 36 grand? Was that a emergency repair of some sort? Or?
Would that have been the water leak that we had?
Oh, East Hill Road.
Well, it's under the wastewater enterprise fund is what it got charged to.
What date was it?
Well, it was paid on 5/21. The check run was on, or anyway, the only date I got to work with is 5/21. So it happened by then.
Yeah, I think that should be water. We had a big leak on East Hill, but I'm not familiar with anything for wastewater that was the WIF did for us.
Okay.
If I can just piggyback on that while Mr. Burton is looking on the next one. It also says maintenance supplies, and it's a lot for maintenance supplies. Is that shining light on what it could be if it's $36,000 in maintenance supplies?
Davey's not here, and he would be the person to ask.
Okay. Just adding to that.
And then, I mean, I brought it up before, the amount of money we pay Alpha Analytical every month, but I was noticed here that we had a charge to Bray, Jay, and Race Laboratories for lab testing. Is that another, is that a competing?
Yes, they do our chronic and acute testing. Alpha does not do chronic and acute. We have to do annual chronic and acute testing, and they're the ones that do it. And we do it twice a year.
Okay. But would they be a competitor to Alpha for the other tests, or do they do that kind of work as well?
They do. I think they're a lot more expensive than Alpha.
Okay.
But we can find out.
Are they out of the area, or?
Well, they're in Santa Rosa.
They're in Santa Rosa.
So
Okay.
it would be a lot more commute time if they do that.
Yeah, well, I just, we pay those guys a fair amount. This one, I think I just want to bring up because I find it, I think everybody, it's to the County of Mendocino, the Auditor Controller for $22,278. And I'm pretty sure that's what they charge us to give us our money back.
Yes.
That they collect in taxes.
Oh,
So,
that's a pretty good gig.
yeah.
It's called administrative services that we pay for them to do the billing, include our sewer assessment and everything else that comes to us on their bill, their tax assessment.
In that regard, does somebody answer me, are we still engaged in the teeter plan with them? Do
I
they
don't think the
still?
teeter plan's in operation right now. I mean, it was paid off at one time. The teeter plan I know it sounds confusing, the teeter plan is all the money from government agencies that are collected countywide go into, not all the money, a good portion of monies go into a fund with the county. And that county can actually send money to entities with their running short, just to make it an even flow throughout the 12 months of the year.
That's not quite how I understand it. I think it is that you have different taxpayers don't necessarily pay their taxes.
Correct.
But they were assessed $500 for their property. And the teeter plan is the county pays it, and then they
Try to collect.
they have the first in line to collect. And I know that they got in deep arrears with not
Yes.
by supplying that service. And I guess I'm just curious what the status of that. I hadn't thought about it in quite a while.
Anything more?
I think I'm getting pretty close, Tom.
Okay.
I guess Play Core Wisconsin, I assume that that's $8,000. It has something to do with
Play structure?
play structures or?
Yeah, we had some playground equipment on the park that needed to be repaired. And before we can do any more major work on the park, it was a liability.
Okay. Was that budgeted?
I'm not sure if that was prior budget or an unforeseen cost, but I can get back to you on that one.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay. Anybody else? Question?
Okay. Question. Apex, I thought did our IT, but there's three different amounts listed paying out to IT contract. On the front, we paid $19,000 to Civic Plus for IT. And then on page 7, we paid another $7,500 to Maverick Networks, also for IT. And then we paid Apex after that. And I was just curious what the three companies were. Like
Civic Plus is our website,
Okay.
and Maverick is our phone system, voicemail and the like.
Okay. We're paying $20,000 a year for our website?
Close to it.
Wow. Okay. And Maverick is the phone and the voicemail, stuff like that. Okay. I was also want to kind of raise the council's attention to an item I want to say on, page 5, at the very bottom of page 5, there was a general fund payment, Chamber of Commerce TOT money to the Willits Chamber of Commerce. Part of that MOU, that agreement that we made with them, included that they were supposed to be giving us yearly budgets and what they're doing with their money. They came to us not too long ago, said they were going to do that. That never actually has happened. I haven't seen them do that in the last 2 years. And so I'm not sure why we should be so quick in writing them a check if they're not fulfilling their end of the agreement. So they're not here to ask that to, and there's nobody here to really do that, but I was a little bit, when I saw that, I thought, well, we kind of skipped over the conversation about whether they're actually meeting their end of the agreement, or whether anybody on the council would like to see them held accountable for whether they're spending the money, because we'd like to see where they're spending that money. They are receiving public money, and they should be able to clear that up. But hopefully we'll get those answers later, but I just wanted to bring that to everyone.
And I appreciate you saying that, because I thought they were going to bring us a budget also. I know they've contacted a local CPA for the budget final review, so they have been working on it.
Okay. I look forward to hearing that.
Well, I look forward to seeing it also. Anybody else, any questions? Is there any public comment on the finance? There is a finance committee meeting. I'm sorry, I'm going to take away his big announcement, but on the 17th, next Wednesday, there's a finance committee meeting in this room where we're going to talk about the budget, but we're about to go into a budget conversation right now. So if you want to get a preview of next week, you're in the right spot. All right, these are all verbal reports, no action on those reports, so we'll move to the city manager's verbal report.
City manager doesn't really have a verbal report.
Okay.
Other than I've been here a week now. But I would like to take an opportunity to introduce myself to the community. My name is James Connor. I just came back last week to help out as the interim city manager while we're in the process of recruiting a permanent city manager. I worked with the city previously as an interim police chief back in 2023 and 2024. I am a longtime public servant. I worked in Sonoma County and spent my 25-year career there in the police department. And so I'm here to do the very best that I can to help out. My primary goal here is to help the council find a city manager that will fit the community's needs, the city staff and the council's needs. And as I committed to them before I came, my CalPERS pension allows me to work as a retired annuitant for 960 hours, which is about 5.5 months of full-time, and my commitment to the council is that I will be here for that entire time, provided they need me for that time, so that we can maintain stability and continue with the progress that we've made on the changes already so far. So that, as I said, I don't have a report, but I wanted to take just a second to introduce myself to everybody and say thank you very much for the welcome that I've received so far.
Once again, welcome, and we're glad you're here. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Any public comment on the city manager report? None? All right. We're moving into department reports. Airport Community Development, Finance, Police Department, Service and Facilities, and Utilities. Have they presented their reports? Is there anything other than what has been presented that any director would like to talk about? And I know that our water director, Davey's not here, but there have been reports of brown water in the city for broken pipes on East Lane or East Hill, and possibly water surging in the downtown area, creating, I'm not going to say panic, but creating confusion in the city. And I appreciate our city residents understanding that when these things happen, we try to take care of them as quick as possible. We don't want them to happen, but if they do happen, we want to take care of them as soon as possible. So the water department has been fairly good of instructing citizens what to do, but if you have complaints or so forth, please come to the city and we'll do what we can. Is there any public comment on any of the department monthly reports? Okay, public comments closed. All right, now we are going to discuss our budget timeline. And Joseph, you've been here just a short time, and you seem to have caught on fairly well, and you're giving us the presentation tonight. So Joseph Park, our budget timeline.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I also wanted to piggyback and comment on just having James Connor here for the last week has been a huge value to have a sounding board throughout the day, throughout daily operations, and to try to mitigate any of the unforeseen interruptions and things that might come along as we're trying to focus on this budget and presenting it on time. That has been our utmost priority. And so the presentation of this timeline in itself, we have an update to this update.
Okay.
Which is good news. We have confirmation from our financial consultant, Andy Heath, that he will be participating in the June 17th Finance Committee meeting next week, in which we will gain much clarity on the details of the 26-27 budget proposal. And then we can move forward with a June 24th, I think that's the right date, of the next council meeting to review the 26-27 draft budget, so that we can have a June 29th special council meeting for possible adoption of the proposed fiscal year 26-27 budget.
And that'll be a public meeting, not closed session, that'll be a public meeting, okay?
Yes. And just because it's in the agenda title, I wanted to make sure and bring it up that the 24-25 audit, just to clarify, has not started, because there are still some journal entries that need to be reconciled. And I have a list of what those are, but we still need to identify what that scope is to give you timelines on that. and to direct our energy appropriately. It's the same resources that we're using for the 26-27 budget with the consultant and our internal team. So we have to knock that out and get the 26-27 budget done, and immediately following, we'll be focusing on identifying the scope and the timelines for the 24-25 audit.
Those are magical words to hear. Well, I'm glad you're focused on it. Thank you. And then on July 22nd, possibly adopting the approved budget.
If you haven't already adopted it on June 29th.
And if we could get a budget adopted by June 29th, it would be the first time, I think in 3 years, that this council has finalized the budget before July 1. Thank you, Joseph.
We are really wanting that to happen for you so that we can get in the habit of delivering deadlines and then following through with those deadlines.
Okay.
Oh, actually, can I just iterate? You're going to slow down and just let that soak in? That's honestly, I just wanted to say thank you for all the work that you've done into what's going on. And it's been a team effort, that's for sure. And when I saw some early emails and some early preliminary numbers, I realized that we were on the right path, because it's a lot less concerning about when things are going to happen. I honestly didn't even know if anybody was working on this. Like, we don't even have that kind of input. So to know that people are working on it, that Andy Heath is doing his job on his side, and that we're going to have some real numbers to present to people. And it looks like in working into that timetable or time to discuss this. It isn't just like, well, we got 1 day to pass it, let's do it right now, because what's the point of doing that?
I get it.
So very excited about all this stuff. So I just want to say thank you all who are involved, including people who are not here today. I was wondering, you said you were still finishing some journal entries in the 24-25 audit. Do you think you'll have some sort of timetable on the 24-25 audit, perhaps by the 17th, which will be our finance meeting? Think another week you might know, or maybe not?
Well, since we know that the journal entries and all the bank reconciliations have to be finished before we can begin the audit, we know how long the audit process will take. So if we move backwards from that, we're looking at probably a couple of months to get all of that compiled and finished and turned in for requesting the audit, and then it will be months that we can perform the audit. And so I don't think that we'll have a hard deadline for you on the 17th, just because we'll be solely focused on the budget. But immediately following the budget, we will be looking at that scope so that we can give you a realistic timeline.
I love that. Thank you, sir.
See, Jeff Cook was not the only music to our ears. That was music to our ears, sir.
All right, well, if you don't mind me adding on to the comment that Joseph made. So immediately following the budget, the finance department has already been tasked with determining the actual scope of data entry and reconciliation work that needs to be done in order for us to complete all of our administrative steps to move toward that 24-25 audit. That they're really in a bit of a catch-up mode still. There's still plenty of stuff that we need to verify and ensure that the information is put in and accurate. I'm sorry, put in and accurate, not put in inaccurate. No, that's not us.
Put in and accurate.
And accurate. So there's still a little bit of a drag on that 24-25 audit, but it's going to be the priority as soon as council has approved the budget. The good news, though, more music to your ears, is that our process that Joseph has already instituted in the actual financial management, the more regular cash balances, receipt reconciliations, all of the finance stuff, the journal entries that need to go in for this year is in much better condition, so that by the time we close out this fiscal year, the actual act of getting to audit should be more closely aligned with best business practices, meaning that, yeah, the 24-25 audit is still a bit of a pill because we've got more extra work to do on it, but the 25-26 should be a much easier, and hopefully we should be able to get that buttoned up much quicker and in what we would consider best business practice timeframes.
Okay.
So.
That is good news.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been waiting for the audits, and that's what we fall behind on, is that we get to this, we're all ready, we're ready to go, we're starting to go, we're gonna start next week, and then data entry and reconciliation, which should normally take a process of a month or two, winds up being 8-9 months. It's like, what was the whole point? We're just waiting around, and if we could just stop doing that, just get it done right the first time, I know the city will be very excited about that. Thank you.
So to the public, any comments on the timeline of our budget? This is great news. No public comment? Okay, public comment is closed to the council. Any comments?
Sounds like we're on track.
Are we going to have the proposed rate structures, fees and rates at the next council meeting?
Are we increasing fees and rates?
Well, that's where we'll find out.
I haven't heard anybody discussing it. And that's usually a three-step process where it's presented twice to a council and then approved.
Yeah, and I think it has to happen by the 1st of July.
A public hearing, because we have to have a public hearing.
Right. I haven't heard of any discussion that our rates are going up. Or has anybody, let's see if you heard anything?
I don't believe staff got any direction to
Okay.
raise the prices.
Okay.
No, we've barely been able to discuss that they do need to rise, and we need to review them, but I don't think are going to be able to get to that before the audits.
I think the issue is too that, are we due for Prop 218 hearing?
Oh, I don't think we're up against any limits on that.
I mean, these are the ones that have already been set up, but I think we do need to.
Well, there's always, even last year, they did have the rate. They didn't have anything else, but so I just was curious. I'm fine if there's no.
We do have the increase for water and sewer, I think, that's scheduled.
It's already scheduled.
So, and it was proposed that it needed to come back to council before the increase was done. So that may be something we do put on the agenda.
So
Kind of what I was asking about.
Okay.
The one that was
Okay.
All right. Any more council comment? We're getting through the close, and it's only 7:20. I like it. All right. So now we're to the, and there was no action on the presentation. Joseph, thank you very much. You've been here a short time, and you're doing exactly what's expected of you. We appreciate you very much. Okay. So to the council, if you could combine the good and welfare and city council announcements communication. Bruce, anything?
I don't, I think I said what I wanted to say to the Frontier Days. I think I'm said enough. Thank you.
Okay, Jerry?
Well, I'm not sure it's good and welfare. I don't want to take the chief's thunder, but I saw in the water bills, the no parking notices went out in the water bills. So folks should get word out not to park where they shouldn't be parking so they don't get towed. I guess we try not to tow people if we don't have to, so.
Yes, the sign looks like this. It's going to be even bigger.
Even bigger.
Thank you, sir. If the parking spot looks too good to be true, it probably is. So let your friends, your loved ones, your guests know, please don't force our hand. We do not want to tow people's vehicles.
And I think the night before the parade, I think we have a lot of folks who enjoy themselves too much, leave their cars, and then don't leave word as to where, I guess, to move their car or something, or sleep in the day of the parade and then find out it's been moved, so for them, so.
Thank you, Chief, because last year there were issues, and I appreciate your desire to get rid of issues this year. Anything else?
Two things. I think they did a memorial for Emmy Good this Sunday, both for her and her husband over at the Art Center. Just incredible people that did a lot for the community.
They did.
So, and then I went to League of Cities meeting over in Fort Bragg last Friday, and so last Friday? No, Friday before last. So, and there's some legislative stuff that maybe what I'll do is I'll send it to Loris to send to you guys. That way you guys are aware of it. So.
And Jerry's our League of Cities representative, and I appreciate how you're just going to local meetings and you're not going to the Southern California meetings and saving the city money. Thank you very much. Thank you. Larry, anything else? Larry, anything?
Yeah, I have one thing. In history, does anybody here know who Samuel Wilson was in our history? Okay, I'll tell you next time we have a meeting. He's a very, very important person that everybody should know and every has seen.
You're going to keep us in suspense?
This century, I mean, what?
You want me to tell you?
Who was Samuel Wilson? What did he do?
He's this guy that says, "We want you when you were drafted." And he's dressed up in a white and red
Uncle Sam.
outfit.
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam. No, it's not Uncle Sam. It's Samuel Williams.
Uncle Sam Williams.
Wilson.
Okay, Wilson. Okay.
And his brother,
Yeah, he had a ranch up here, Williams Ranch. Anything else?
No.
No trivia? You should go to trivia place. Anything?
I was just going to remind everybody, January 17th, Finance Committee. We should try to-
January 17th.
June 17th. As I was saying, June 17th, Finance Committee, next Sunday here.
Next Sunday?
Next. Okay, so welcome everybody.
slow down, man.
Yes. So this Wednesday coming up next week on June 17th, we're having a Finance Committee and all of you are invited.
In this room.
In this
What time?
At 4 o'clock.
All right.
I also would like to share with the community that this weekend, the Willits Community Theater is doing their annual gala. And if you haven't just bought tickets yet, there
are only 10.
There's only a few left, and it's a wonderful event every year, and it goes to a great cause. And then lastly, I just wanted to share, I did reach out to their lawyer who was handling my case for the Fair Practice Political Commission. As some of you may or may not know, there's a 21-day timeline on that. However, they're looking a lot deeper into the larger negotiation of the agreement as a whole, so it falls under a different government code, something referred to as 1090, and so there is no timeline on that. It's been a couple months, and so I just reached out to ask, is there anything that could be done, any information you need, or should we just sit and wait patiently? And she has assured me that she is working on it. She will be done soon, and that all the information will be presented. But she has definitely widened her scope in what she's looking at, but still waiting patiently and all that stuff. So I know we're waiting for a lot of other issues on that. And that's awesome.
Thank you. For you avid city council attendees, let me just say again, repeat, we're going to have one more meeting this month, June 24th, and then we will not meet again until July 22nd. Because
Special.
I'm sorry, no, I'm going to get to that. So for general meetings, we'll have one in July 22nd. Now tomorrow, there is a closed session of the city council, and we're interviewing potential full-time city manager applicants. So, but it's a closed session. And that's it for me. Anything else?
Can I ask a question?
Ask away.
Go up there. I just want to remind everybody there will be cabs there after the night rodeo on the 3rd and after the truck pulls. So your crew paid for cabs to be on scene to take you home. You would pay the fare, but we paid to have them by standby.
So Frontier Days is paying the taxis to be here to standby, but if someone needs a taxi ride, which I hope they'll take if they've had too much to drink, they pay the fare.
That's great.
Otherwise, the chief will give you a ride and that won't be free.
All the way to you guys.
It's a Willits Uber, we call it Woober. So, all right, nothing else? It's 7:26, this meeting is adjourned.